Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 107 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and today we have our players, same as always. We have Kyle, Mac, Greg, Josh, and Katie. Um, Good stuff. I'm gonna go ahead, we're just jumping into it. I'm gonna immediately jump into a nice little recap, and I think we can get back to our dramatic little team and see how they're feeling now that they've had some time. At least them as people, time to cool down. But as characters, we're still in the heat of it, boys. Uh, so
It was
last
the heat
time,
of the moment.
it was the heat of the moment, and the moment was a purple worm. And this purple worm decided that it wanted to snack on a flail snail, but missed, sending the snail rocketing into the sky, but leaving Nyx for at least a moment to fight the monster on her own. At this time, using wild shape to turn into a large canine, but this canine has an interesting energy to it, a look of corruption to its body, visible bone, and a tendril that comes out from between the rib cage that seems to whip back and forth and can be used for attacking. Uh, a few people saw this occur as the wild shape was dropped as the worm bites into it, shifting it back to Nyx, and then swallows her before retreating. The party, hoping that maybe it's not retreating and you could entice it back, all begin to bangus things on the ground. And then Roshan runs up. It's like, can we go? To which everyone's like, yeah, okay. Everybody jumps into the hole to pursue the purple worm, including Roshan, who's running from a good bit away. Keld is only there because Roshan cast haste to move Keld quicker, but Roshan, following behind the party, also jumps into the hole. Everyone pursues. The worm, not liking being attacked, burrows directly down, to which three members of the party just jump us 30 feet into a hole. Um, and fight in darkness for a moment. This whole combat, Nyx living inside of the purple worm, taking basically chip damage, to be honest, as she just sort of chills out and does damage from the inside. Not enough to be spat out, but damage nonetheless. During this time, I believe Nyx, Keld, and Fen, by choice, were all swallowed by the purple worm, leaving Nana alone in front of the beast and Roshan alone at the top of the hole. Um, Luckily for everybody involved, during this time, Nyx had been doing an insane amount of damage from the inside, and eventually the worm, she did fall, and everyone was able to get out without falling unconscious. Roshan at this time sees everybody climb out. Fen takes a bit longer, and there is a fear that sets in with that, but once he sees Fen climb out, he walks off. The rest of the party discusses, I think I saw some stuff in there, and as a giant crab, Nyx goes and retrieves some objects, mostly gems, and some sort of like metal rod from inside of this creature's body. You all go up, collect some more gems, and once you all are in the beautiful light of the sun again, a bit of an altercation ensues. Roshan says some unkind things, but stating that he was afraid and worried for the party. Fen counters with also some rude statements and goes back and forth until Roshan separates himself and walks off. Though the argument still continues in this space of the characters who stayed, where I believe Fen says something along the lines of, "This doesn't concern you," to Nyx. And after some back and forth, everyone takes a small time out to harvest all of the nasty off of the flail snail. Much more fun to be getting the things off the flail snail. And while you were doing that, Roshan is walking back to the cart. And Roshan, you feel this horrible tightening sensation in your chest, and it hurts, and you feel nauseous, and you hear the echo of the "I'm sorry" in your head from the shadow, kind of like it's reverberating off of walls around you. And as you are trying to, I think standing up is becoming a bit of a struggle as the edges of your vision blur and you can see the marks on your hands slowly moving and shifting and changing across your hands. And there's a burning sensation at the tips of your fingers. And you realize, it took you a moment, you realize the reason you can see your markings is because your gloves are gone. And you can see on the ground in front of you, they had burned off. The bits of fabric that had been there, gone up, and just leaving some leather behind as your hands are fully exposed. And then you feel a pulling sensation in your chest, a sensation of something kind of peeling away. "I'm sorry." And you can see the image of something. It looks like it's made of heat that you can see from a distance. The image of the shadow pushing away from you. And a lot of that horrible sensation fades. That tightness in the chest, this anger that was building up, this disgust, and this pain in your fingers. It fades to your normal amount of fear that you had because the moment upset you. You're upset, but it wasn't just you. And the shadow pulls away and stumbles forward, and you watch as steam rises from the ground as its steps melt through the snow in front of it. And it seems to be struggling to walk, and it slams its hand against a tree to support itself. And you watch the bark begin to char as your vision starts to come back to its full potential. And the markings on your hands sit as they always had. Is there something you'd like to do?
So I think after the shadow says, "I'm sorry," Roshan kind of freezes for 5-10 seconds, taking stock of his body and his hands, and thinks for a second that he needs gloves. But he stares at the shadow and asks, "What? What do you mean you're sorry?"
There is a gasp that comes from this like shimmering image of a humanoid figure. And the gasp sort of follows the wind. It is just a constant sound that moves and then fades. I'm another gasp that catches the wind. I don't want to make you feel bad. I shouldn't. And like, you can see the hand move across the tree, and the hand pulls down, kind of burning the bark and leaving a print behind. As you see, it looks like the image is trying to, I guess the best way to put it is stabilize itself.
I think Roshan crosses the distance between him and the shadow and attempts to wrap his arms around the shadow and says, "No, no, no. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gotten so angry. I didn't mean to."
You embrace heat. This is the first time that this sensation has been associated with the shadow in this way, just as if stepping incredibly close to a fire. And hot hands cup your face and hold you. It's painful, but it is not unbearable. It's not like you're taking damage, but it is an intense energy coming off of this. I was so proud of you. So smart, brave. You helped your friend. He went to fight and you followed. You jumped into that hole and you followed them. I was proud of you. And you can feel like tightening on your face, just a little bit, the pressure of fingertips. Then you shared your fear with them, and it was met with hostility. But I was so proud of you. We can't stop. I've never felt this way.
I think Roshan leans his forehead in, and closes his eyes and takes a few deep breaths before continuing and saying, everything's okay. Everyone's okay. There's nothing to fear.
And the breath sort of begins to synchronize with your own. And this heat begins to slowly die down. And then you start to feel kind of the sting of the cold around you, as your temperature begins to lower and the shadows begins to lower. Things are unfair, but we are not going to stop. We can do better.
What did you say first? Things are what?
Unfair.
I think that makes Roshan's cheeks warmer than they already are. Expecting things to be fair is foolish. If things were fair, I'd still be at home with my sister and Ave, and we'd all still be home. But we're trying to make things better, to right wrongs, and I don't think I can do it without you.
We're where we belong. We're good. We do good. You are good. And the hands sort of kind of become lax. And the image of the shadow fades a bit. We're good.
We are. Are we getting closer to the part of you that was lost?
It moves. It sometimes feels incredibly close and then it is gone. I don't know.
When we were in the marketplace with Fen and Nana was on stage with the guard, did it feel like things were close then? That part of you was near then?
Yes. It was close. And then it was gone.
I think Roshan from there doesn't move but quietly processes and asks the shadow, will you tell me when it's close again? Is it a feeling? Is it a person? Is it a what should we be looking for?
It feels like home. Nostalgia for things I don't know. Responsibility? Maybe. I don't know. A feeling. It's a feeling.
Will you, the next time you feel it, let me know?
Of course. I will.
And then I think, strangely, Roshan asks, are you okay?
And you can feel eyes on you. The image of the shadow at this time, now that the temperature has gone down, is not as visible as it was. There's always the sense of where its body is, and you can feel the hands at your shoulders. But now you can feel eyes on you. I am afraid. But I am doing better. I don't like making you feel bad. I'm sorry we were connected at that time. I want to do better, and I'm going to.
It's okay. Everyone's okay. We're okay. And Roshan sighs, but then loosens his grip on the shadow and tries to put his hands where the shadow would be and start heading back toward the cart. Some semblance of hand in hand.
All right. As the two of you walk together, there is the sensation of holding hands. And around the time you arrive at the cart throughout the walk, the sensation is sort of like moved up your arm until it seems as if the shadow has taken its spot back where it was earlier. No longer having a form in front of you, but now more part of you as you arrive at the cart. And I'm going to be honest, Roshan, you're going to be at that cart by yourself for like at least 30 minutes. These dudes are dissecting a whole giant ass snail.
That's perfect, because Roshan needs to find another pair of gloves.
Yeah, Roshan just starts like, shit. Okay. Currently, the whole party started taking part in snail time, which is what happened last time. Yes, Nana?
That being said,
Uh-huh.
I feel as though, Nana has little to offer this group beyond what Fen could offer in terms of stripping this snail, and she feels like it's not smart right now for one of us to be by themselves after what just fucking happened. That seems like something she would not in good conscience just kind of leave be. If she saw things were getting on pretty well between the others, I think she would at some point early on excuse herself to go and look for Roshan and make sure he was okay.
Okay. I'll give you about half time then.
Okay.
Um, uh, you leave the group in, I would say, a thick silence, is where we are currently sitting besides the horrible sound of snail. That is certainly present, but it is, there is a quietness associated, besides probably the occasional, like, hey, can you grab that? I can grab that. After
Can we
about
make
15.
a group slurpy noise, everyone together?
Okay, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Eating.
The unsubscribes just shooting across the screen.
The dice cult instantly
I hate it
loses
here.
all followers.
Nana, half of that is maybe wanting to leave the terrible sound of this place. As about 15 minutes pass and no threat seems to be here,
Oh, okay.
and you're able to gather your thoughts, so you can start going.
Cool. Good. Excellent. She just reminds the others to watch each other's backs and says that she'll be back at the cart with Roshan whenever they're done. They can definitely let me know if they need help, though. I mean, I'm sure Fen has the ability to catch her attention from a distance if need be.
A snail shoots through the trees 100 feet up.
Christ!
Ah, they
God.
need me.
Oh, I must go. My people need me.
The signal.
The snail signal.
Mail, mail.
The signal.
No.
No, boo. Nana leaves the group. She never returns.
It's been real, y'all.
It's been an honor and a privilege. Yeah, Nana, you're
Anyway.
welcome to part from the group.
Yes.
By this time, you start walking.
Uh-huh.
Roshan, by this time, would be back at the cart, and I would say,
I think Nana would have a little bit of a jog on. I mean, it's been a hot minute and she's been stewing in this, and now she's like, fuck, I really hope he's okay.
and Roshan, during this time, you are able to find new gloves.
Great.
So during this time, there has to be another pair of gloves somewhere in this place. So you can put those on. And you can hear the sound of like lightly crunching snow as Nana breaks through the clearing at a nice jog.
A distant slurp.
And I think
Yeah.
when she gets there, Roshan's face is still pretty red, but relieved to see someone.
Does it appear as though he's been crying?
No, I don't think he had a good cry about this. I think he was more scared than upset.
Okay. All right. Nana is at least kind of relieved to see the relief. That's nice. At least he's not mad right now. She kind of jogs her way over and she kind of blurts out, I'm sorry. All right? You know, you were right. I acted rashly, I was hasty, and I acted wanting to protect Nyx, and obviously I vastly overestimated exactly how much use my help would be in such a situation. But regardless, that does not take from the fact that I did not think my actions through, and I did leave you behind, and I should not have. You don't deserve that, Roshan. You don't. And I want to do better.
I think Roshan gives her a heartfelt hug
Oh.
and says, I'm sorry for blowing up at Fen and causing a scene. You were so close to getting eaten, and
I know.
I watched it dive for you, and for a second you were gone, and I was going to run, but it all worked out. Everyone's okay.
Yeah.
I probably owe an apology to Fen, but I'm sorry too.
That's all right. That's all right. I forgive you. I couldn't hold it against you if I tried. I'm really trying, you know, and I don't want anyone to die on my watch. I don't want it to be anyone at all, least of all any of you. And I don't know how much stock you put in dreams anymore, but
Depends on what kind of dream. You have any prophetic ones lately?
more like reminders. I'm a
If
hypocrite,
you-
Ro.
Why?
I said, I believe. I want to help protect people. I really do, but look at everything that has happened in the last few weeks alone. The sheer number of dead. I still can't wrap my head around it quite, but it's not just that we didn't act before this town. I don't know if we just did Ave's ritual wrong, or if it was meant to work this way. But we have transplanted the hell we've been living in for years and put it on a community that was not prepared. And they've suffered, and they've hurt, and I'm sorry.
I think Roshan grabs Nana's face, like the shadow grabbed his, and says, Nana, none of this is your fault. I know it feels like it does because I feel that too. But it's not. Ave knew the consequences of the actions that he set in motion and could probably guess that we would be here today. So don't let despair rule. Turn it into righteous fury to fix and finish what he started. And we can decide at the end how we feel about him. But for now, it only hurts us to lose yourself to that feeling. There will be time for this sometime, just not today.
Nana kind of sniffles a little bit, and there's tears standing in her eyes, and she kind of reaches out a hand and cups Roshan's cheek on one side, and she says, "I ever tell you that you are a smashing bard?"
I'm not much of a bard anymore, but we're so much more than what we were when this began. And we're forged into what we are by circumstance and a path we were led down blindly. But we can use that to our advantage and use the things we know to save people. We can't save everyone, and we can't mourn everyone that was lost. But we can prevent more. And unfortunately, that means we have to be on top of our game every second of every day, because the enemy doesn't seem to sleep.
You're not wrong. Lucky for us, I suppose you don't either.
Don't let them know that.
We've got to keep some kind of ace in our pocket now.
So a boring ace being able to stay up all night, but if it's something, then perhaps it's something.
Maybe. I'll take anything we can get. Every strength we can reserve for ourselves. Every advantage. Even if it's small. I'm grateful to have you here with us, Roshan. I really am. Thank you.
I'm glad you're here too.
And if you happen to think of some way I could possibly persuade Nyx not to just run ahead by herself without causing some kind of offense and making her more inclined to do that, I'm all ears. I just want everyone to be safe, please.
I am no help on that one, but you could
Oh.
always guilt her.
How do I know that'll work? She seems like exactly the kind who would take a guilt trip thrown at her and just swing it back round.
You're not wrong.
That's what I'm saying. It won't work. I need something else.
As you all talk about how to handle a new bit of chaos in the party, the three stragglers now have some nasty materials on their hands.
Oh, good. How are we transporting all this wealth?
Keld is currently,
Well,
I believe in you, Keld. I'm gonna believe in you. Actually, I'd love to just, this doesn't affect too much, but if you could roll strength for me. Yeah, you. Yeah, I'm
We-
talking to you, buddy.
Could we just not make a sleigh out of a sled to drag behind us out of the shell of this thing? Like, put all the gems and stuff in the shell. Like, it works smarter, not harder.
I mean, if he can pick up the shell by himself, I want to see it.
Oh, okay.
oh, I'm feeling real weak right now.
You
How's that
did just fight a
nine?
big monster. Okay. Yeah, you guys are able to figure something out. I fully believe in y'all to get the shell out of the woods. I just wanted to see if Keld was the strongest lad in town, but he's tired. So
I'm tired.
it'd be like that. The haste is still wearing off a bit, so there's sort of the energy from that. But you all take your prizes to put into the bag of holding if you see fit. Maybe the best place for goop, maybe not. It's up to you.
Just
it's
put
up
it
to
into
you.
like jugs first or something.
Yeah, I'm assuming the goop isn't just in everybody's hands and they're carrying it like this.
It's just
Yeah.
loose in my bag,
Oh
actually.
no.
I just have a bag of goop. The pot is full. It's nasty. You
The
guys have
goop is your new scrying liquid.
Yeah.
This reminds
Just
me,
put
we
your
do need
head
to
in
buy
it.
some vessels when we get to the next town.
Yes, I
Arthur,
think that's a
please, your
good idea.
butthole.
Oh my god, Arthur.
My son.
He
Please.
shows his
Gonna get us
butt on camera.
demonetized.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Blur it out.
No.
Somebody blur it out. But everybody is back together again. The shell can be hauled onto the cart. I am kind enough to assume we have containers of some sort to
Mm.
put some goop in, and
Some
some sort of
empty, like,
satchel to
food
put the
tins
skin
and
and organs
whatever.
in.
Mm.
So you guys have something. So you guys have a
Something.
lot of supplies on your hand, and a very nice shell. Has a crack in it, but nonetheless, a nice
Mm.
shell.
When you get a chance, could you make us a list of like the gems and stuff that we found and shoot that over in a
Sure.
text or something?
Yeah, right now it's a fuck ton.
Okay.
The
Cool.
amount is a lot.
One fuck ton of gems.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
A lot of gems. I
Very
will say,
much.
just to be very
Metric
pointed,
fuck ton.
you don't see any, like, at your first glance, no diamonds. You're not seeing anything in that department, but there's a bunch of other gems. We'll talk price. You could buy a fucking town, you know. But you're all back together. What would
Let's
you
buy a
like to
town.
do?
We'll just make a no corruption club. Like, just
Yeah.
start our own little
Correction's
haven.
like, oh darn, we can't go here.
No.
Yeah.
Guys open their
The
restaurant.
paperwork.
We'll just swipe or no swiping, Bosh. It'll be fine.
I think it'll work.
I'll
I
listen.
think so. He seems reasonable.
I'm going to assume you all start moving forward to continue as if nothing happened.
Mhm.
All
Actually,
of you
I-
looking worse for wear.
I don't want to put Josh through like another really big one-on-one again, but Fen does want to take Roshan off to the side before we start moving and have a word.
Yeah, I think Roshan is interested in that as well.
Both of you easily move off to the side. The rest of you casually turn like this.
We're
Like,
not
We're
listening.
just making ourselves busy.
Yep.
Nana's like petting a horse, and they're just like rolling dice and like, yeah, sure.
Nana is definitely petting the horse and trying to make a connection. Like she's like, I gotta have somebody to talk to.
Fen and Roshan, you go off to the side.
Roshan, I just wanted to say several things, but first of all, I lost my temper and was an asshole, as is typical for me. And I didn't mean to imply that you were scared or that we didn't benefit by you being there. I've seen your bravery firsthand many times, and I shouldn't have said the things that I said. I believe in you. There's no one I'd rather have out here with us than you. That being said, I saw Nyx turn into a wolf, but the wolf was corrupted. And I don't know what to do with that information.
Huh.
I don't want to freak Nana out because of the whole corruption in her heart bullshit. Is there anything in that book that you read that says anything about corruption in that sort of way?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no, Jillian.
Yeah, you can go out on a limb and say no.
Flip.
Not that specifically. Not
Okay.
as specific as that.
I
I think Roshan answers and says, I'm sorry, I was a bit like a powder keg back there.
I don't know what a powder keg is, but I appreciate your apology.
You know, the things that explode sometimes when
The red in video games.
Do we have gunpowder in this world?
So you know what?
You're
Gunpowder
making a
cannons
world building
exist.
choice right
It's
here on the
canon.
spot.
Ooh,
Canon,
Powder
cannons
cannon.
exist.
Wow.
Cannon,
Cannons
Cannon,
are
cannons.
canon.
All right.
Yeah.
powder for
Awesome.
cannon. Cannon.
Roshan,
Um,
you don't need to apologize.
I was afraid, and I don't remember exactly what was said back there, but I was terrified that Nana would get swallowed and I would be alone, and I'm just glad that everyone's okay. And if it's if it means that you don't jump down something's throat again, then I won't apologize for yelling at you about that. So please don't do that again.
I hope we don't run across anything that's got a throat wide enough to jump down again.
Or
That was a bad
any-
decision. I'll not disagree. That was a stupid thing to do. I had an idea in my head and thought it might save a life, but it was a stupid thing to do. And I look at me. I feel like shit now.
you look like shit.
I'm used to looking like shit, but I feel like it.
We need a hot spring. Where's our
Yeah,
hot
we
springs
do.
episode?
Yeah,
Uh,
Jillian, when's our
DM
hot
in the
springs
sky.
episode?
just want to sit in
DM in the sky.
sit in a naturally occurring hot spring and watch the northern lights. Like,
Sounds lovely.
I can't say that I haven't thought about a hot springs episode, so I'll take it into consideration. Nobody gave it to me as a prompt.
What? How is that possible?
Nobody
I was
wanted it
sure
in the prompt.
somebody
I want
would.
to edit my prompts.
Ooh,
You know what? I might let Gregory edit his prompts.
that's fair. Y'all live in the same house. You can have the
Um,
most secure conversations out of any of us.
I've wanted to see the northern lights for a while, but I didn't know what the opposite of seeing the northern lights would be. Be like, it's cloudy every night. Like,
Hmm.
Sorry, guys, no lights for you.
Oh, no.
Bum, bum, bum.
anyhow, Roshan, again, apologies, and your apology is not needed. It was a tough situation, and I'm glad everyone's safe, but I believe Nix and Keld to both be good, genuine people, but I don't know what to make of the fact that she seems to have some degree of corruption to her. And I'm a bit nervous about having her around for that purpose. If we need to help her in some way, I just want her to be honest with us.
I'll bring it up casually, maybe when we're awake some night. Just
Just keep
low
your
stakes.
eyes and ears open for anything in your readings. Maybe when we get to the library, something could be ascertained there. I don't know, but someone had to know what I saw.
It's a very good thing to share, and I will be respectful with this information.
Thank you, Roshan.
Thank you, Fen. Now let's go. What is this big shell that you brought back? Oh, it's
I
got a big weird crack in it. Where
I,
did that come from?
I understand it's worth a lot of money. That's what I let to know. And if Gorbulon's not going to be the one collecting wealth anymore, then someone's got to do it. We apparently have expensive tastes.
flail snail, I think.
Oh.
All of us just like,
Brushing a horse leaning slightly. I will say they're slightly too far away to pick up on a lot of it, but it's just like
It's like, I mean, it's obvious when they go walking over, and like, I
no,
think
it's
the
obvious they're having a
drifting note of,
conversation.
like,
That's not
what is
hidden.
that thing comes over, or something like it, not as like, it's a flail snail, I think.
But this is just to tell you guys what it looks like. You have a flail snail shale, shale,
Yeah.
and it
does
has sort of, it has a like a bluishy purple color to it, and closer to like where the spiral is, more inset. it has a bit of like an oily look to it. So it looks like it has an oil
Ooh.
spill more central. And the inside of the
Iridescent.
shell is all oil spill look. So you have that, but it does have a crack moving up one of the sides.
Oh, sad.
So whatever price it was, probably not as high if you're selling the shell itself. But
Could
Nyx
always
and
use it to
Keld with
make something.
with your vague knowledge, especially because you harvested the parts from it, you know that everything you took from it has value, has a purpose. Doesn't mean you know how to do something with it, probably not, but you know that it can be done.
This is the first.
Mhm.
You just have a lot of goop, some organs, some skin, and a shell. And just a bunch of gems, a fuck ton, as the unit is here. Maybe like 3/4 a fuck ton, you know? To be more
Yeah,
specific.
yeah.
I'm gonna be specific.
It's
But
a
all of
fair
you-
fraction of a fuck ton, but like, you know, it's
Yeah.
not
Is
the
that an
whole
Oh,
imperial fuck ton or a metric fuck ton?
I
Gotta
mean,
be
it really
metric.
kind of depends on like if any of that meant anything to me. It really depends on. I'll pick a gold amount and we'll figure it out from there. But you cart. After Roshan, you have a lot of back and forths, and I feel like you were genuine in all of them. I am going to give you a sobriety dice.
Yay.
As you were open with your emotions after the combat and you had a conversation with multiple people, to me, feeling genuine. If you think that is unwarranted, you can return the dice to me, but I think it is indeed warranted.
It was genuine.
Okay, you can have it.
Great.
You may take the dice then. It was beautiful. But all of you can get back together, and throughout all of this, you guys had to like keep stopping Thick Biscuit. Like Roshan, you noticed when you showed up, Thick Biscuit kind of kept going. Like no stopped to tie up Thick Biscuit or do anything. Thick Biscuit's like okay, and kind of just meandered further away.
Oh no.
So
no.
multiple
Thick
times you guys have to
Biscuit.
just like stop Thick Biscuit, but you all get together again and continue forward on your cart. Is there anything you'd like to do with the rest of your day before camp as you all move forward?
I would like to expend some hit dice.
Yeah, you
Oh,
guys can have a
boy.
short rest.
That would
Consider
be nice.
this a short rest.
Nana needs that.
Please
She
let me
looks
have a short rest,
rough.
Jillian.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Acid
Nana
go burr.
is in
Um,
pain. Kind of a lot of pain. Little bit of pain. A fair bit. Fair bit of pain.
Yeah, Roshan, you got out of this unphysically,
Unscathed.
Unscathed physically.
emotionally, but physically, all in the clear.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm assuming nothing else as you all casually make your way northwards.
Mm-mm.
Okie dokie. Where's my day marker? There it is. Oh, we're on day 3. How fun. All right. You all eventually get to a point in time where you need to set up camp, which is doable and easy for you because honestly, you all are like 90% of this party is very nature centric. And if y'all couldn't set up a camp, it would be a bummer. And your camp is 90% bubble. So really, honestly, you guys will always have a beautiful camp 99% of the time. So you can set up as you like. Is there anything you would like to do before watch starts now that you are stopped?
I
For
think
me- yeah, go for it.
Roshan is going to. I gotta check spell slots real quick, see if how many third levels he's got. Oh yeah, we good. I think he's going to mumble to himself as he casts sending to his sister again. And he hasn't planned out very well what to say, but I think he asks, Rose, are you okay? I think we're coming toward you. And I want to find you, and if you need me to, I can maybe get you out of this. Has anything changed? And lets those questions sit.
Okay. We might have lost the last word on that, but honestly, I didn't start counting, so that's my bad. So the whole thing goes through. You guys, if you just catch me off guard, you can do anything you want. If I just don't know what's going to happen, it gets to happen.
Great.
You send out this message and are immediately hit with sound that it's kind of like to do a modern comparison. If you turned on your car radio and it was at full volume, but it was on a staticky station, it is a shh that enters into your mind and echoes and moves through in the spaces. Just wrote on, and you can hear snippets of words, but none of them come through. It is the same as it was.
Then I think he just lets it sit. He's worried, but he's also, I think he's just worried to the point of inaction. What if I make it worse?
Mm-hmm. Any other sendings while you're vibing?
Yeah. We should catch up with Dagwood too. He'll ask, how did your conversation with the kiln go? Is that what he calls himself? And the witch you were with, the one with the black hand?
Cuts off at the witch you were with. Cuts off there, because this time I was ready.
Nice.
Don't worry, guys. I can count. Just everybody know. This message sends out, and there's a pause. A long pause. Like you get like a solid, like you're like in your head, you can start counting, and you think you're approaching 10 seconds of nothing. I think you and I may be done with conversation for some time. Don't contact again.
Mm.
And then she stops.
That sucks.
Mom. Come on.
Come on!
Seems a bit of a change there for whatever reason.
Great. That's real good for Roshan's mood. Just peps him right up.
You want me? Take that dice right back. Yeah,
I think
I'm at a high. Y'all can't stop me.
the bubble song is a little bit strange tonight.
Little lackluster. But eventually the bubble does pop up. And I'd love to know who's taking first watch. Nana, if you had something else. I think you're muted.
Yeah, I can't hear.
Oh no.
Oh, yes, I was. Terrible. Sorry. I feel like Nana would take a moment to kind of like once she saw Roshan putting up the bubble and kind of hearing like the tone of the song, knowing that I'm sure she would have seen him off to one side, like doing his sendings, and she usually gives him space to do that and to process what he gets. He seems stressed though, so I think she would come over and just inquired, "Everything all right?"
I can't tell if Dagwood ghosted me. She left me on red. He seemed to be acting from a place of power, and I hope that that power is in everyone's favor. But she told me not to contact her again, not for a while at least.
That is worrying. Okay.
More worrying than it is relieving.
Yeah, that's for certain. I mean, at least she wasn't killed by that cult, but I can only hope that she hasn't been taken in by them and is simply trying to preserve the role so that they won't cut her off from whatever influence she's been given.
From what Nick said, it sounds like she wanted to negotiate with them, and I think she got what she wanted. Whatever that was, I have no idea.
We'll see what we can find out. We'll head to the Kivik Library and see if we can find any connections to whatever we've been able to learn so far. Take what we've learnt and try what we can to intervene, if we can. And hope that our help is still wanted. Are you okay?
Just frustrated.
Yeah. Well, if nothing else, perhaps Mordred would be more open or more willing, although I don't know if he'd know as much at this point as Dagwood does.
It should wait till tomorrow, perhaps tomorrow morning. I'll reach out to him and make sure he's at least okay.
Absolutely. Whatever this group expected of Dagwood in exchange for her cooperation, I can only hope it didn't mean anything bad for Mordred.
We can hope. I'm hoping that at least she seeks to thwart whatever they hope to do from the inside. I hope.
We can only act on that assumption. We have to make our plans gambling on that being the case, because I don't know if we have anything in our arsenal that could match her if she truly was against us.
Yeah.
So, hope for the best, plan for the worst. I don't know if we can plan for Dagwood being fully against us and willingly acting in the interest of this group, but at the very least we could hope that that isn't the case and plan for as many contingencies as possible.
Yeah. Keep that in mind, everyone. Dagwood is maybe only dubiously with us anymore.
We'll find out tomorrow whatever we can learn from Morden. I hope he's all right.
Right. Anybody else want to do something before the boxes?
We just in the sad bubble, boys. We just sad
Want to
bubbling
leave the
it.
sad bubble for a moment?
Yeah,
Does anyone need to go
in
to
the
the
middle
crying
of this
tree?
sad stuff, I go to my crying tree.
Yeah, Nyx
Oh,
leaves
yeah.
immediately.
Crying tree time. We got this. We know what to do.
Does she say anything as she leaves?
No.
God, please, Nyx.
It's Kel just sitting there like sipping a drink. Nyx gets up and walks off and he's like,
Is this? I just want to know. Nana is not taking the first watch. Is Nyx walking out before or after Nana is asleep?
This is
It
while you
seems
guys are
like-
talking. So
Yeah.
Oh,
it was like mid your conversation. She just, I'm assuming, slowly walked out.
I
Yeah.
do, but
Uh,
Kel, does she do this a lot?
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna say not until we met you.
oof.
It's gotten progressively more.
it's just gotten really
I
bad
mean-
lately. I don't know why.
She keeps going off by herself. Weird.
Is there anything any of us could do? Does she just need some time to herself?
Yes, I mean she's usually that way. We haven't always traveled in such a big group, so
I know. I do not want to offend your sister. I desperately do not want to offend your sister, but
Too late.
yeah.
just because you're right, Roshan. Anyway, I want what is best for your sister. I do not want her to come to harm. And it must needs be remarked that she walked immediately upon a very large animal, which was then eaten by a larger animal. And then she was eaten by that larger animal. Is there anything we can do? Should we all just fuck off for a while and let her come do her thing here?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm trying.
Not that far away.
What are we doing?
Like, you're outside the bubble, so effectively you wouldn't hear this.
Yeah, but not that far.
I mean,
Hovering.
I was gonna talk to her later. I
just
try not to worry about it too much right now.
I will try. And that is the most I can promise.
That's all I ask.
Okay. I trust you. I trust her.
You don't-
Please. Just,
I'd understand if you don't completely trust us, so
well,
uh,
it's not for want of trying, and I do not want you to feel unwelcome. You are both clearly talented, you are both clearly strong, and you are both also very clearly aligned against the people that we most want to stop. I want to keep everyone in this party safe. That is all I want. Most important of all. And anything I can do differently to make that happen, I'll do my best.
all right, Mother Hen.
Excuse me. I am not. I'm not even 20. No mother.
It's an energy. Nyx.
She doesn't see it.
Yeah.
I
What?
don't know what you're talking about, slowly putting members of the party
Yeah.
under her arms.
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't understand what you're implying.
I would never.
Nyx, you wander off on your own. What are you doing?
I have a 6th level spell slot I'd love to use to try and spy on my good pal Eagle.
Hell yeah, dude! Stir that shit. Stir it.
I have a job to do, guys.
Uh-huh.
What
I
is
have a literal
job?
job.
Yeah,
I'm
Uh,
getting paid.
yeah.
Freelance.
They got paid a lot for this.
Nyx, you fill the pot with water and you lean forward and you place your face against it. You can feel your eyelashes touch and you feel yourself pulled down the river, fighting against current. And you break free, pushing through. And that is where we are going to take our break.
What?
Here, everybody, we're going to take a 10-minute break, go get a snack and a drink. And you know what? We'll all get to see what Mr. Eagle is up to. All right, see you guys in 10.
Thank you, Ted.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cold for episode 107. I already put my notes away. Of On the Backs of Gods. We just took our 10-minute break. The party spent their time telling each other they're sorry in different scenarios, apologizing for their emotional outbursts and feels, but has currently gone to camp. Roshan messaged Dagwood, who informed Roshan that they should not message her again. And like, all right, heard. During this time, Nyx has casually gone off to the scrying tree, and has found herself moving up the river until she enters a well-lit room. There is a soft sound that hits you first, and it's the sound of music playing. Just soft, something basic, maybe strings. You can't see it, but you see Egil, who is standing in one spot, like very good posture, like standing up straight. And it looks like he's wearing an undershirt and well-tailored pants as he stands in this space, looking a little uncomfortable. And then you hear the sound of footsteps, shoes creaking on wood. And an elven man steps close to Egil. And you can see that Egil seems like a lot taller than this guy. Like, taller than you would think is normal for looking at these two, just like body-wise. And the elven man says, "Arms up, please." And you watch Egil raise his arms, and you watch the man pull out a piece of measuring tape and has started measuring different parts of his chest and his shoulders, around his neck. He's like, "All right, thank you. One moment. Oh, I'll go get the piece and you can tell me how you feel about it." The elven man walks off. Egil sort of like keeps his arms up for half a second. He's like, "I hate this shit." He murmurs softly to himself, and you can see him kind of fidgeting and like looking around the room. And after a moment, the elven man comes back. Your time is spent, a lot of it, waiting for this elven man to do stuff. You're like, come on, dude, jog. Come on, I only have so long.
Speed it up.
Pick up the pace. This man approaches and he's like, "Does this look good to you?" And holds up, presenting it to Egil, a mask, a beautiful mask. Covers the top half of the face, a black leather, but it looks like it has cracks in it where you can see brilliant red underneath. Almost, not that Nyx would know this, but for the people watching, almost like magma, a volcano breaking through the top layer of something, fire moving under the earth in these cracks that go along the mask. And you can see that gems, red gems, have been placed inside of these cracks to sort of hit the light in different ways. As you can see the elfin man going like this to just like slowly try and catch the light and make it more appealing. Egil looks at it for a while. "Yeah, that's great, but do you think you could add smoke?" "I think that should be doable. Give us a second, and we'll try on a jacket." And you hear the footsteps walk away, and once again, Egil is left there. You awkwardly watching him awkwardly watch like nothing. And an elven woman walks over. "I think I should be able to do what you request with adding something akin to smoke. It would be a lot more money for smoke in the magical sense, but how about we try fabrics first? Perhaps going up the sides. Eagle nods. I'll leave it to the experts. And just so we know, for the suit, what colors is the lady wearing? And that is where you are pulled back down the river, and you pull forth from the bowl, and you are back by the scrying tree.
Just gonna sit there for a moment and pull out her fancy sending stone because she has more than enough to possibly send
Uh-huh.
to Brilla.
So you get 25 words every
Okay.
day.
Yeah.
Nick's like,
She's just counting on her fingers.
all right.
Okay. He sent letter and regards eastward to find Lady Lord. Preparing for a party, wearing fancy black and red mask. That's good enough. Go 20.
You send this through the sending stone. Very much appreciated. Keep contact. Keep looking however you're looking. Describe interesting faces. Names. If I have an extra letter and names. But if not, I don't count my own stuff, boys. And you used your sending for the day.
That's the only reason she left, so she'll come back.
Yeah.
Nice and
And she-
casual.
Yeah.
Swinging a little pot.
Just swinging the pot.
How
Yep.
long does this take? Is this like into the first watch, or is this just like 10 minutes?
It's
is
like
like-
10 minutes.
Yeah, this was only like 10, 15 minutes tops.
Huh. So like she just kind of comes back and it's like no
Yep.
big deal and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
First
Nana,
watch.
Nana does kind of like go, you alright?
Yeah. Just went out for a bit.
Okay. Alright.
I don't mind doing first watch.
Okay. Keld, you're on first watch. Everybody
Nana's
else gets
very
comfy.
tired. She's trying to get some sleep for a little.
Keld, you set up shop. Mm-hmm.
I think during first watch, if they would have shared the items, there was a metal dowel that Roshan would like to identify if it's magic.
I'm sure they will give it to you unless they don't want to. Won't assume anything. But yeah, you can start identifying that during the first watch. You guys know what it is, baby. That's an immovable rod, baby.
Wow.
Oh, damn. Somebody tried to immovable rod this thing and it didn't work.
It did not work.
Okay, well now we know.
Or they weren't able to do it in time. Real toss up. Another person who jumped into the worm and was like, I've got it. And they did not have it. This person did not have it, boys. But yeah, immovable rod. Welcome to the team.
We love you, immovable rod.
Hell yeah, immovable rod. Welcome to the party.
Wait.
Could all be nice about it. That would be cool. But also, if
Mhm.
you want to break shit, you're welcome to try. It's fully up to you guys. But yeah, Roshan, you do that. Keld, you're on first watch. If you could go ahead and give me a perception check with disadvantage, please. Keld squints. Ah, shit.
What, like,
7.
on his lantern?
I mean, I would assume, I would think a lot of people take their watches, at least if it were me, I would take my watch in the bubble so that I'm
Yeah.
not visible, but that's up to you
Yeah,
guys.
no, that's true. And it's not like adding additional light really helps
Yeah.
to see outside the bubble.
Yeah, no, going outside the bubble, even
That's
with like a
actually-
lantern, is not going to help unless something is like within a certain distance.
Hmm.
And then there'd be like, a wolf within 60 feet of you. And it's like, huh,
Shit.
A beacon.
well, okay, we're in it.
Never mind.
But Keld, you get a 7. You don't know what's going on, but you're awake to do something if something happens. That's half the battle.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you'd like to accomplish on your watch, or are you just focusing on not really seeing anything?
I guess I'm just keeping an eye out, thinking about the day, thinking about everything that transpired.
Yeah, you're currently organizing your thoughts, which happens to be a little distracting at this juncture. So you're focusing on that. Roshan, you figure out this item. The watch seems to go by casually. Nothing seems to be wrong. Nothing, bonkuses into the bubble. And the first watch is over. Who's taking second watch? So your 2 hours are up.
Well, I'll be up for the rest of the night anyway. So if I don't.
You need to do one more. Watches are 2 hours.
Oh, 2-hour watches. Okay.
Or
Okay.
hour or 2 watches.
Okay.
Or
then
no,
I'm-
2 hour 4 watches. There we go.
Okay. All right.
Those
Never mind.
numbers.
I'll stay meditating.
Okay. One more. Who's taking second watch then?
I can, or not. Whoever. Whoever Kel feels like waking up.
Do you feel like waking up, Nix?
Yeah.
I'll be
Kel smacks Nix on the shoulder. All right. Nix, you're up. Are you going to use a spell to make this not
Of course I
disadvantage?
am.
Do you think I'm stupid? So go ahead and roll me a perception check as your eyes sort of glow and those little specks, these particles sort of are visible as they move past it.
That's only a 10.
Perfect.
Well,
She's busy
Right.
trying to make herself tea out of some random mosses. Since
Yeah.
since Kel won't let her do it for the whole group, she's got to do it for herself.
try it.
Yeah, you watch her making tea and there's like still dirt attached to like some of the moss, and then like her fingers will dip into the water itself. Like it is not the most hygienic thing you've ever watched. As she begins to make herself some tea. Anything else during Nix's watch, during second watch?
Yeah, I think when she's done with the tea, Roshan will say, "Hey, catch," and then toss her the immovable rod.
I'll try.
It's a very light toss, and say the button there will make it very heavy, but also solid and immovable.
Okay.
Um,
Tries it up.
She
above
try
her
it
head.
yeah,
Head and click the button.
Yeah.
It stays there.
Oh, she's gonna try to get up and sit on it. Just sit there.
You get up and sit on it. So it's sort of like a little like swing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which stays in place. You like cannot get it to move.
So when you take the form of animals, is it always like that?
Like what?
Well, I didn't get to see it firsthand, but the tentacle, the
No. We just tried to do that like a month ago when everything
Wait.
got really bad. I just tried, Kel was there supervising.
you manifested that alone.
Yeah. It was just kind of was wondering if I could. So I tried.
That's fascinating. That's incredible. Can you do it again today?
Yeah. It kind of depends on how much I rest, but I can do it plenty.
Oh,
What, you want to see?
I don't want to.
Looks very excited about it.
I don't want to use up any of your resources, but I guess I'd love to see.
Would you rather see a spooky bird or canine?
Is the bird like big?
No, it's small. It's really small.
Okay. So, yeah, small. Let's start small.
But since she's already up on this little pole, she just starts to shrink down into the shape of a raven. But there are bones protruding, and there's no tentacle this time. Just real looks corrupted.
Mm-hmm.
He'll ask the raven, does that hurt? It doesn't look comfortable.
Do you speak raven?
I don't speak raven.
It just chirps back.
Oh,
Bird scream.
yes, that makes sense.
Pause.
I think then I feel like you put the rod above his head, but he will come closer and stare up at your raven form and see if he can, I don't know, glean anything from it. Just looks corrupted.
What would you like to roll for this, Roshan?
History or Arcana.
Pick one and go for it.
Okay. Arcana is a 26.
Okay. You have never read a book, heard a story where anyone ever did this. No one has ever changed their form into that of corruption and then casually gone back to supposedly normal. Nyx in herself does not look like a, bones protruding, corrupted sort of being. It is an anomaly. It's fascinating. You can understand why someone would be concerned about this. It's up to you whether you're concerned or not, but you have no explanation for this. You have nothing. Because
Cool.
you touch it, the goo is real. It feels like a corrupted animal. Like you couldn't tell the difference if they were lined up.
So I think Roshan will take, I don't know, 10 minutes if she'll give it to inspect new bad bird.
Bad bird.
And then say, I think I've learned all I can. You're welcome to stay that way or not, as you like.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said 10 minutes. Are you using magic? Or just
Um,
that's an arbitrary number you picked?
I
It's such
think
a
that-
specific number.
It was just an arbitrary number. That's
Okay.
how long he would take to just, without touching, inspect.
Okay, cool. All right, just double checking.
Does she turn back after that, or does she keep on being a raven?
Yeah, she'll turn back and go back to swinging her legs.
Okay. Good, because he didn't want to have a conversation with a raven.
Just squawks back.
Fen wakes up and shoots her.
Oh, God.
And then she's fine because it's just the bird cell.
He'll ask did that hurt at all?
No?
Did you notice you were able to do it after something affected you, or?
Not exactly. It was more, we'd been traveling for a while and everything started getting a lot worse in this area. I just thought I would try with at least some of the things that I've seen.
Of course. And you haven't noticed any differences after you changed, correct?
No, I'm the same before and after.
Well, don't take this the wrong way, but you and Nana may have more in common than we expected. She's told you about the
worms? She
The
mentioned
worms.
worms.
there were
I
worms.
don't really know what it means, but she keeps mentioning worms.
Nana was struck sick, and in the middle of a town festival, almost died. And we sought the help of a witch who, I don't know, I might be able to recreate the ritual she used, but she was able to scoop those worms right out of her chest, and I don't think any of them were left, but what is left is a stain, and we're not sure if it means anything. Is it something that we can use? Maybe. Is it going to hurt her sometime later? Maybe. But the guard knows about it, and I think would seek to use it against her if he could, but he considers it a gift in a way. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, if it comes down to it, you can use that to your advantage with him. There's a good chance he'll believe he can control you, and there's a good chance he may be able to. I don't know, but I'm glad you're on our side.
Certainly not on his. I don't know if he'd be able to control this. I don't know. We're planning to look a bit more into it at the library. This woman that helped Nana, is she still there? Are we gonna pass by where you guys were?
No, she
Okay.
was an old woman who, after she helped Nana, grew a thick carapace of coral, stepped out of the coral as a young woman, and then walked away. Did she? I can't remember if she had a horse or not, but she left immediately, and none of us have seen her since.
No, not being rude. It's really hard to tell if all of these different things are true. Everything that you all have been through, it's hard. But okay.
If we don't know each other super well, but I can promise to answer your questions to the best of my ability. If you'll trust me, you are welcome to ask, and I'll try not to keep things from you. I want your trust because I know how bad it could become if we lose that.
I don't know. Like, there are things we haven't told you everything about our travels, obviously.
And
Yeah.
neither have we,
Yeah.
of course.
I do have something that I would prefer the others don't know.
Roshan looks around to the lightly dozing group around him and says, and I will answer to the best of my ability.
I don't think you'll know the answer, but Keld knows it's part of why we were hunting the guard. I thought it would fix this. And she just kind of pulls down her sleeve a bit, and you see it's just hard ice. A whole section on her left arm. It doesn't unfreeze. It started around the same time as things got worse. And it is growing. Pulls it back up real quick.
I can understand why that would be concerning. I don't think Roshan would know anything about that just off the top of his head, would he?
No.
Okay. Would you mind if I used magic to try and divine its source or its power?
You're welcome to try.
Then sit here for a second, and Roshan opens his Ave's red folio and to a blank page and asks her to put her hand down on the page and starts casting Identify on her. And Identify should be able to identify any magical effect on you. If it's, normal run-of-the-mill shit, but this, who knows?
I don't know if it's normal.
Well, it's not normal.
Nothing's normal.
What's the stupid spell called? My brain stopped.
Identify.
I was like, I got to the letter I and then had nothing else. One moment. Spell takes about object. Don't mind me, guys. Everybody make wet noises again on the count of
No.
3.
Oh,
1,
no.
2, 3. Wet noises.
I hate them.
Creature without the casting you learn what spells, if any.
I'm
are
an
practiced.
insufferable sound effects gremlin. I cannot be stopped.
All right, I'm back. Thanks for the interlude. The 10 minutes pass, and Roshan, your hand for a large portion of this is incredibly still on the page. And you wait, and you continue to cast, and you're sort of like waiting for your hand to write something. And you feel your hand tighten around the charcoal and presses against the page and scrapes off to the side. Your hand, the pencil digs through, ripping multiple pages.
God.
Well,
Is it good?
Does that normally happen like that?
no, it
Oh,
doesn't.
The good news is they're going to name a disease after you.
yes.
Ugh.
Cool.
That's all we got. That's the good news.
Best news I've heard all day.
my best guess is some kind of curse. Has it immobilized that part of your arm, or can you move it?
I'm moving. It's not that far down yet. It might eventually. We don't know.
Did that happen first, or did your transformation happen first?
I don't know. Did we decide that?
Would you like me to decide that? Because I have an opinion on it.
Sure.
Would you like me to say it out loud? Are you answering questions honestly?
I'll answer it.
Okay. Ice first.
Ice first. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I don't want to say that they're connected, but there's a good chance. And if you want any help, once we reach the library, finding out what we can, then I'll help.
Be great. I'm really bad with books. I actually try not to touch them. I ruin them usually.
Roshan stares down at like the 3 pages that are torn.
And the other one that has the
Okay.
nice wet spot on it.
Huh. Well, thank you for sharing, and if you want, I'll keep this secret.
At least for now. By the way, she holds up the ring. I have this next to my. I don't remember what it does. I wasn't listening when they were talking because I was too busy focusing on his real shiny armor, and so I put it on, and it's cool. But
It's super cool. You should. I forget exactly how it works, but Roshan says you should be able to store spell energy in there
just
to
looking.
use what you have left today to store that energy until tomorrow, lasting indefinitely, and give you a little extra juice when you need it.
She'll touch it and try it out. Try putting something in it.
I was just like, I have to look up Ring of Spell Story
It's
now.
like 5 spell slot worth or something.
So
Like
you
up
could
to
put a
fifth
fifth level or
yeah. Or like a
versus
4
some-
and a 1 or whatever.
yeah, just a
Yeah.
bunch of ones, you know.
No, she just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's not a spell slot that you can get back, but you cast certain spells into it, and then you can cast those spells. So
Right. Sure, I'll pick one and put it in there. Why not?
that sounds fun.
It does. I haven't used Blight. We'll put Blight in there at 4th level. So I don't have any 5th level slots back anyway.
You want to
Cool.
put a first level in there with it?
Yeah, why
That's
not?
easy.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Do a little 1-2 punch.
We'll throw some healing in there.
Nice.
All
That's
right,
nice.
all right.
You know, very opposite spells, but you know,
Yeah,
beautiful.
exactly.
Beautiful, the
Even it out.
duality of man encompassed here.
Right, you have spells stored.
Thank you for trusting us. I know we're wrapped up in this whole situation, and perhaps more than unwitting pawns, but I'm glad our goals align and that you are here with us.
Thank you. Just gonna lean forward. Your turn. You get to share.
Oh,
That's my secret.
yes, me, an open book.
You said you'd answer
Uh,
anything. So I don't know what to ask. So I haven't been around.
Yeah. Roshan starts to panic. I don't.
Yeah, you're watching this man sweat.
What? I don't have any secrets.
No, it's
Oh,
the.
boy.
I've got too many choices. I don't know. Uh-oh.
There's a lot of secrets to choose from. Which one?
Today's been an emotional day, so I'll share an emotional secret. Ave, before he died, said that I was like a son to him, and at the same time, I think that was his way of saying goodbye. And he didn't say goodbye to anyone else, and it sucks. He didn't say goodbye to his sister, who he basically raised. And it's heavy, but I'm sure from what you've heard of him, you can't have the highest opinion, but I followed him to the end of the earth, and I can't entirely say that I regret it.
I'm sorry you've had to carry that.
Yeah, me too.
She'll pass over some of the tea. We're gonna try.
I think is it no, it's
Oh.
Lord of the Rings where he tastes the soup and then spits it back out. Mm.
When it touches your tongue just for a moment, your body knows something's wrong. Like there is an immediate like, I swear to God, if you swallow this, I'm gonna scream reaction from your body. Yummy.
Well, that's interesting.
Wow.
Well,
Like the death steam off
have
it. It's like
another sip.
makes a little skull.
Oh, no.
But I'm assuming eventually you take the pole out of the air.
Eventually.
I
I'm
wake up,
assuming
bonk.
it's at just like kind of like clotheslining like level, so somebody could just wake up and just like gets clotheslined by it.
Yeah.
But you take it down, and eventually your watch goes by. No problems here. And Fen, you said you would take the last two, so
Yeah,
they are
that's fine.
all yours if you want them. And you can give me a perception check.
21.
Wow.
There you go.
Someone can
Um,
see.
Ben, the
Somebody
only
can see in the
person
dark.
aware of their surroundings, takes a watch.
Looks, and immediately we're surrounded by wolves.
He's like,
Oh,
how
no.
long have these been here? Oh, no. I
You're
don't know what
busy,
you're talking
yeah.
about. We're literally surrounded. I don't know what to tell you. But your watches go by without a hitch.
I'm not gonna bother with the RP of it because Josh has been doing a lot of heavy RP lifting, but I would like Roshan to teach Fen how to use the alchemy jug.
Oh, sure.
How make mayonnaise. So it lives in the bag of holding, but you know it can make a lot of goop. You could just pour salt water all over the floor if you wanted to, if that's what you so craved.
Yeah,
Um,
nothing specific. I don't think we have any. If we had any vessels before, they're full of slug juice
They're
now.
full
But
of they're full of snail at the moment.
yeah,
Which is
just
probably very valuable comparatively.
yeah. Fen just
to-
knows this is a magical item and knows if somebody's gonna know how to use a magical item, it's gonna be Roshan. So, like, we don't have to necessarily actually do anything, but like,
how make pottery work. Yeah, you now know what the jug does. I'll just ask real quick, Roshan, do you leave any of the liquids out of the equation?
Oh, no, I think he shares everything that it can do. I don't think there's anything particularly. Nah.
You know it makes from alcohol to oil to poison. This puppy's got everything in there. So you're now informed. The sun comes up. Everyone is awoken again by the beautiful alarm that is snow, as it babonkuses everybody.
No.
And the
Oh,
morning has come.
God, no, Jesus, please, no. It's
I
so
mean-
cold. It's down the back of my neck.
But all of you are up and you've officially had a long rest. So you guys can do that. You're back in the game, boys.
Excellent.
Woo! Hooray.
We're on day 4.
I
You
would
guys are
like
pretty
to.
close.
I'd like to
Mhm.
find out what Rufio looks like today, so I'll reach into the bag.
Hell
And
yeah.
Go for it.
Of course.
Nana is
Yeah.
instantly over beside Thick Biscuit in case it's something scary.
he's a badger.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
badger,
scary.
badger. Does he find lots of mushrooms?
I don't know. We'd
That
have
would be
to.
cool. Send them
Just
off.
got it. He just got here. Okie dokie. Where's my list? Hello? Hey guys, my notes have moved.
Hmm.
That doesn't seem I found them. Okay. That seems strange. But you all eat breakfast. Keld seems to be good at this, and food tastes good
Wow.
Instead of just food
Wow.
taste edible, food tastes good now.
Oh,
You guys are moving up in the world.
we certainly are.
And you all begin to make your way going northwards at speed. So if somebody would
With
like to do a perception check, either 2 people with disadvantage or 1 person flat roll.
Are we doing the usual of like 2 of us hanging out and 2 of us kind of like at the fore and back? What are we doing?
I'll do a straight roll.
Sounds
Straight
good.
roll? I will also do a straight roll.
No.
No?
No, just 1 person. 1 person gets
Oh.
a straight roll, or 2 people can roll with disadvantage
Oh, I see.
because you guys are going at the speed. So if
My
you come
brain
across
was
something,
smooth for a hot second. My apologies.
26.
um, what was that? I was finding a d6.
26.
Jesus.
Cool. You are on alert.
Tyler?
Yeah, I'm looking out for snails falling from the sky.
Good idea.
Honestly, not a bad idea.
Ben's been staring at the sky for half the trip, but he's ready if anything's up there. We'll continue forward. A light snow, cold day, as you push forward down the road. Fen, about, I'd say 4 hours into your trek, you see, at first, you see some wood off to the side of the road, like pieces of wood. And you
Like
can see
lumber or like firewood?
like more in the lumber department. This is like fixed wood. This is like not like a tree that fell or just pieces that had just recently been chopped. This was made into something at one point.
Okay.
You can tell by the smoothness and like the very consistent sizing. You see that a lot of this wood is sort of on the ground against a tree. And honestly, with your perception check, it looks like some of a cart. Doesn't look like all of a cart, but some of a cart that had veered off road, I suppose, and gone into this tree. You don't see anything else in that section. You see like all of them are on the ground except one longish piece is up and leaning against the tree. And you can see small shadows further into the tree line, bit higher up than head height, of just, it looks like something, a few somethings just swaying in the wind, some small somethings.
Okay. We should probably stop and investigate this. Rufio, go take a look at that wood. Send the badger to go like poke his nose around in it. Just in case a giant worm eats it or something.
Immediately wormed. This worm begins its way over as your cart has stopped.
Badger.
Keld and Nyx, this sight seems familiar. You all watch the badger make its way over and like nudge a piece of wood on the ground, and, like nudge another one. And it looks back over its shoulder, the sun cascading onto its face. And it's fine. Nothing happens.
All right. I'm gonna go and investigate what those shadows are. If anybody wants to come with me, they're welcome to.
I'll support from the road.
I'm curious.
If Kel's
Yeah.
getting out, then I'll get out too. But she wasn't going to go with just Fen since he yelled at her yesterday.
I wish I could send a direct message to two people. Keldon Nix, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
At least
Thank
I do.
God.
I don't know if he does.
Gregory,
I don't know. I went into the void.
I'll send you a message real
Okay.
quick. Sorry, guys. All of you start approaching casually. Imagine you all crunching through the snow and what have you.
I was too distracted by
Imagine it.
the jokes.
Um, type so fast.
You just copy and paste it into the other person's thing too.
Oh,
so.
I know what it is.
Typos, ignore them. But Nix and Keld, you also get out. Nana, are you going?
If it winds up emptying out to the point where it's just Roshan left in the cart, Nana will hang back. I will also support from the road. But just be careful, all right?
Sure, we'll be fine. What's the
mean-
worst that could happen?
She'll
Do
look
not
back at
say that! You...
Later, when the worst
Technically.
happens,
God almighty.
You're looking at
And
three
while-
people that were in a worm yesterday.
Yes!
and
That
I
is
was
one
fine.
example of what could
Worm.
possibly happen. So
this
please.
is Team Worm, ready to rumble.
I think we've learned our lesson.
Being wormed your lesson? I'm sorry. Anyway. I certainly hope so. Just please get back alive, would you? And let us know if we can help.
We're not going far, right? Like we can kind of see
Yeah,
this stuff from the
this
side of
can
the
see it.
road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there can be so much happen in a
100%.
span of 6 seconds.
Kill them in an instant. So you guys walk over to this area.
Mhm.
I need intelligence checks from Keld and Nix with advantage. I believe in the both of you. I believe in you both very, very, very deeply.
Yes.
18.
19.
Nice.
So, as I said, you both recognize the site. The wood propped up against the tree is strange.
Mhm.
Like, that does not look naturally fallen. This piece of wood is placed against the tree. Just like, like, hey, how you doing? But it's out of place. Fen, you went a bit ahead just to get a look at the things in the woods.
Mm.
You've seen these before. It is about 100 of Bosch's symbol dangling from trees all over this place.
Cool.
Nope.
And I need Fen, Keld, and Nix to all give me wisdom saving throws, please.
What did I say? What did I say?
I got a 21 on my wisdom saving
Well,
throw. It was a saving
yes.
throw, right?
Good.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I guess that's the same as just a wisdom check, but
I
got
another
21.
18.
Nat 20 for a 27.
Hell yeah, bud.
Baby.
So there
Thank
is
Wisdom.
God.
a feeling in this place that is unsettling, and it's visceral, and you can almost feel this unsettling energy begin to like push into you, like into your psyche.
Hmm.
But honestly, like, fuck this guy. And you all have like the hairs on the back of your neck are standing up. That's about it. You're unsettled. That's all. Is there anything you guys would like to do while you're here, Nix and Keld? There's just a badger sort of circling the wood. It had one job. It's trying.
Well, we have been here before.
Yeah. Does it look like they've been here recently? Like since that time?
Oh yeah, these things were not
They're-
up when you were here.
Right.
Awesome.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cool.
What happened?
You two know something about this?
Happened.
About the Sipples? No, they were not here before.
Well, I know what the symbols are, but you're looking like you recognize some of this.
Yeah.
Yes, you could say we're responsible for the lack of cultists here.
Oh,
No, they've been back, it looks like. So
If
Uh,
nothing else, it looks like you scared him.
oh, Nana, where did you come from?
No,
got bored on the cart.
I did. No, I'm still back
Says
on the
moved Thick
cart.
Biscuit just up to where you guys are.
Like, yeah, kind of like if it's just off the side of the road.
Yeah. This is like if you talk at just like a slightly above normal level, you could talk to them from the road.
Okay, then yeah. Just
Yeah, if you
imagine
pull
I
up
was louder
alongside.
on that. Just imagine.
Yeah.
Fix it in
Just
post.
we'll
So
all
this
imagine.
this is where you got that shield, Kel?
No.
Oh no.
No, the shield was from one of the holes right outside the city.
Oh, all right.
We were escorting a cart. I guess. Is this the cart?
Yeah. This is where we were escorting the cart. And we were ambushed by some of Bosch's people.
And did you deal with the bodies that you left behind?
Of course.
Right. Seems like they've made a bit of a memorial here. I just wanted to make sure that we're not going to find cultists planted in the ground here.
Now, this is where we met Riven. So
We recognize Riven's name from.
it's the
Yeah, you would know.
the
who-
contact.
Okay, I see. I'm there. Sorry.
I'd like to investigate this site and look around and use my like survival skills to see if I can tell how recently somebody's been here, what direction they might have gone, like how many there might have been here that hung up all these symbols.
Investigation, and then you can do a survival check. Or somebody else is welcome to do something also, whatever. You guys live your lives.
I keep coming up with ways to get 21s on these dice rolls. So there's a 21 to investigation,
Magic.
and then 23 to survival.
There you go. Fen goes from like standing like to like crouched and like looking at stuff and just like moving through the site.
Nice.
Like you
Anything
do.
else, or are people just like, you got it, Fen? We believe in you.
I think that Nyx is going to use commune with nature and do the ritual to try and see if any of them still might be within the 3-mile radius of here.
Okay, so you can just come over and talk to a tree. Is that what it is? What is this spell? What are we doing?
I briefly become one with nature and gain knowledge of the surrounding territory. It gives me knowledge of the land up to 3 miles. And let's see. I instantly gain knowledge of up to 3 facts about whatever I choose from the list. And I'm looking for about people.
Okay, so give me your. How long does the ritual take?
1 minute.
Sure. Go ahead and ask me your questions then as you sit down and kind of begin to meld spiritually into
With
the
a
earth
tree.
around you.
Probably
You
dig her
go
hands
over.
into the ground. So,
You guys watch that thing that you've seen almost every druid you've met just like stick their fingers into the earth, and you're like, oh, that's a fucking druid. They all be putting their fingies in the earth.
like, why do they do
Um,
that?
Okay, so what are your questions?
First one is there anyone else in the area in that 3-mile radius?
There are people within 3 miles. You can feel I'll even tell you, like, directionally, there's people northwards, there's people southwards.
I don't know the specifics of this spell enough, guys.
Okay, you and I are learning together, and I'm not
Yeah.
pulling it up. I refuse. She says she refuses, but she doesn't. Being with nature.
Do we think that the nature would be able to tell me, like, if they're wearing the fun cultist outfits?
Huh.
Is nature that smart? I don't know.
Clean and bodies of water.
I mean, maybe they recognize certain shapes,
Yeah.
colors.
Subjects. Interesting.
Smells?
You get the sense that the nature around this area doesn't exactly have much knowledge or energies related to these people. It does not resonate strongly.
Okay.
And one more question, is it 3?
It's 3 facts.
How you feeling? Good?
Would it be able to tell me how long it's been since they left? Since it's kind of like communing with nature, like with the speak with plants, but it's more in depth.
Would you like to give me that extra spell slot? Do you have commune with
Do I have
With
that
plants?
currently? I don't remember. I think I might have swapped it out.
On that note, I was gonna see if I could find any little critters to talk to.
No, I don't have it right now.
Okay. So I
There's a
can't
badger.
give you.
Yeah.
There's
We
a
asked
solid badger
The
here.
newly born badger.
Um,
Well, he's got
What
senses
you-
that we don't have. Like he could. We can't talk to him normally, but like if he could be like, yeah, I smell people that were here that seem like they went that way. Like that's a question you could ask a badger.
True.
So this is what you're able to pick up on, I would say, from asking about time frames. The spot feels cold. There's not the warmth of humanity here. You can feel that starting to build because all of you are walking around, but before that, not feeling anything incredibly recent. All right, Kel, go ahead and give me a perception check.
That's gonna be a 15.
Okay. Yeah, there's like the occasional bird. You think you see like a deer, but he's gone. Like the second anything sees y'all, it books it. But you could probably get the attention of something. You could probably get one of those birds if you yell at it.
I will kindly yell the bird.
Excuse me. So you're casting
Speak with-
talk with animals or speak with animals.
yeah.
The fancy words. This bird like turns and flies down to a branch. Hey, seems confused, but is willing to talk.
I'll offer it like a piece of something.
Oh, hell
or
yeah.
something.
I love something.
I
Comes
mean, it's
down.
probably
Whatever's
like a
in my
grub that he
pocket.
had been saving for Jenny.
Got some goop. All I have is this snail goop.
Don't
And then
Um,
also these dried grubs. Don't tell Jenny.
But the bird is happy to come down and eat a snack and is like, oh, thanks. Well, it's been great. And starts to like rear up to fly away.
Wait, have you seen? I'm gonna try to describe the cultists. Let's see, have you seen these recently?
Gonna make this bird roll an intelligence check.
Oh, no.
Uh, good luck, everyone.
Come on, bird brain.
Come
You
on,
got this,
brain.
bird.
Bird's brain.
People, hoods, darkly colored.
They hung up these symbols.
Ah, that seems kind of familiar. Not today.
Hmm.
Not today. Not yesterday. Gerald! Gerald! Hey! This bird starts yelling at another bird. It's like, no! As
bird
it
is like,
circles in the sky. Yeah, not today, not yesterday.
Hmm.
Do I get paid for my services? Or like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, here.
Animals capitalist.
Thank you.
How did that happen?
All animals are business people. This is what I've decided. All right. Well, and you watch it back up again and start to do the thing where it's going to fly off again. It's like, well, nailed it.
What else can I
Nailed
ask it?
I... come on.
Do you have any more bird questions for the bird?
Bird?
Yeah, Nyx, at this time, you're like pulling your fingers from the earth and like little bits of root kind of like snap free as you like pull your hands away and kind of shake the dirt off. Anything else, Keld, before the bird flies off?
No, I guess not.
The bird like stops. Huh? Okay. Yes. Gerald, you won't believe what just happened. One of the things on the tool legs is crazy. Gerald takes off to be like, oh, what happened? And they both like fly in the air.
Whoa, what?
Meanwhile, Fen has been
Food.
meticulously combing the ground.
Turning over every leaf.
Finn thinks he's a very decent tracker, and then he just sees somebody stick their fingers in the dirt and like literally talk to the earth. And he's like, oh, shit, I guess this party doesn't need me anymore.
And you're like, I guess this party doesn't need me anymore. You move the piece of wood that's leaning against a tree, and you watch a piece of paper fall onto the ground.
Awesome. I will read the piece of paper if it has recognizable text on it.
Wow.
Yes, it has legible text. It says, it looks very hastily written. It says, Gunhild in no onsect. I on the road, stony gaze.
Hmm.
And I'll take this paper back to the party and say, I don't know what this means, but I found it by that piece of wood.
Huh.
We've been to Noansec. Gunhild is one of the monster hunters.
Well,
Read it one more time.
Yes. Gunhild in no onsect. I on the road, stony gaze.
Stony gaze
And-
means anyone.
And Keld and Nyx, I mean, you automatically recognize the handwriting. This is your contact.
Recognizes by
Ribbon.
sight. This is your contact.
Yes.
So, do you have any insight? Is this something that they were following up on for you?
No, not really.
was Gunhild I think Roshan would try to remember what Gunhild looked like.
Okay. Gunhild is a woman of smaller stature. She had on dark leathers. Her head was shaved like a lot of the cultists. To be straightforward from her armor and weaponry, there was a rogue-ish energy to her. And she is one of the people that was at the pit that you first went to. She was the one talking to Ing.
Okay. Getting that information, Roshan says, I think we should tell our friend in Noansict that they might not be entirely done. Is there anything anyone else wants me to tell her?
Noansict is north. There are two towns that have very similar names.
Yeah,
Oh, no, we were in
that's
Noaten.
Noaten. Yeah.
Okay.
You were in Noaten. Noansict is you are going to pass going northwards.
Mm.
Noaten, though.
Okay. Never
was-
mind. We shan't tell our friend.
Noaten was
to the
where
south.
the attack on the town was, the big one that you guys were just talking about.
Noansect is where we may or may not have robbed a temple and framed a businessman.
Yeah,
and
and you
then we
made
fought.
friends with Ember and
Yeah.
that town.
Oh,
Noaten, I believe, was the one where we spoke with the butcher who wanted us to look out for his
No.
daughter.
No, backwards.
No?
So
Came from
Noaten was the town you were just in.
Oh.
Yeah, Noansect is where
Okay.
is where Ember was, and we
They had the corrupted heads on spikes around the town.
Okay.
we're going to be passing through there again, or we're passing
Mhm.
by it.
It is not out of your way to go there.
It's the next town after Brickworks. On the
Probably
map.
means
It's at the split. So the town is like, I am the split.
and
Stony
presumably
Gaze. Does anyone recognize that phrase? Is
I
it
mean,
a town?
Mm,
surely it sounds like something that Nana would have heard about in a monster story somewhere.
it sounds like, yes, a basilisk.
It's all I can say is that it's 2 words on a piece of paper
Mhm.
for Stony Gaze. Eye on the road, Stony Gaze.
Did we have any other contacts in Noansict other than Ember?
Ember was your big one.
There was a pimp that we
Oon, I
framed
believe
for.
was there.
Who?
Oon. But she's connected to
Mhm.
Alavi.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think Roshan would message Ember. I think you would tell the group, I'm going to check in with Ember, see if she has any news, and if not, perhaps I can warn her. Is there anything anyone else wants to say?
Yeah, tell her I want to buy more thunderclap arrows.
If I
And if you have enough space, tell her we were unable to acquire the desired oysters on the way up. But
Oh, we can
we'll,
disappoint her in person. We don't need to put that in.
yeah, Roshan will sending Ember and say, is the town safe? We have
Well-
reason to believe the guard may target it next. We're heading that way. Do you have any thunderclaps?
aw.
Perfect.
Currently, the town is still here, if you had concern. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out, sure. But what about my oysters? How many did you get? And then it fades
no.
out because she will use the rest asking about the oysters.
Okay. Fuck it. Roshan will use another spell and say, unfortunately, no oysters. Could you warn the town's guard about threats from the forest? the guard is sending corruption.
Oh. No oysters? Huh.
Oh,
That's all
man,
you get.
those oysters. Is that all she said?
Yeah, that's all she says.
Wow, rude.
Jesus
Okay, well,
Christ. I mean, like, promise her we'll get it on the way back, maybe?
Just gonna get it on the way.
we don't have any like obvious stolen contraband because the obvious things were the cloak, the
I
crown,
think-
and
Bjorn has all the contraband. Yeah.
and ate all of the beans.
And you didn't keep the goat. So
No.
Yeah, goats on. Tordrecht has the flute, but that wasn't
Yeah.
stolen. I don't think you guys have any of the stolen things with you as a current party. Look at you. Still thieves, but like, what are you?
What's this about oysters?
She wanted us to get her some oysters that we found out were illegal to harvest.
Oh,
And she's sad about that, seemingly more sad about that than worried about the safety of her town.
interesting priorities, but
And I don't know anyone else well enough to trust them with that information from there, I don't think.
mm,
I think Roshan would take some steps off the road. Does he need to make a wisdom save?
Oh yeah, if you if you get into the grass, go ahead and give me. Actually, yeah, Nana and Roshan. I'm assuming now at this point, give me wisdom saving
Yeah.
throws.
All right.
Ooh,
Thank you.
10.
Oh, geez, bud. Oof. Okay, wisdom save, wisdom save. Do I get an advantage against plants that are magically created or manipulated to impede movement? I'm guessing
No.
Okay, fine.
Your feet are clear, man.
Jeez, okay. It's 12.
Okay.
mm,
That feeling sets in. Nana and Roshan, the hair stands up on the back of your neck. The energy of this place sends a shudder down your spine. And like there's like, you know, when you're gonna cry and there's just like a tightness in your throat, like that just naturally sort of comes into place. And it is tiring to be here. It is unsettling. And both of you take a level of exhaustion.
Oh, shit. I don't want to be
Yep.
here.
Yeah, both of you take a level of exhaustion, being at this unsettling altar to the guard.
I don't want to be here.
Well, as exhausted as he is, Roshan is going to say, light it up. And he is going, that's kind of directed toward nothing in particular, wink, wink, the shadow. And then he's going to start casting Sacred Flame on as many of the bundle of twigs that he can see.
Neat. There's a different type of sense to these sacred flames that move outwards, as if like about halfway through something grabs onto them and then pushes them forward, like a heat radiating off of them, as if you were being assisted.
Great.
And it is able to catch, and boy howdy, this is gonna take you a hot minute if you're gonna take a minute. Yes, Nana?
Anna sees Roshan go at this and she feels inspired to help. She steps up with a searing smite cued on one of her spears,
We're using big boy spells to fuck up this shit.
lobs it into the middle of this grove of cursed trees, and waits for the spear to come back to her.
Okay, see, the thing is, your thing is a little more fire-centric, so give me a second. You throw a spear that immediately bursts into flames on contact into the trees. Go ahead and roll an attack for me.
Oh, Nana, you try to be so cool. You try. That's a nat 1. I cannot tell a lie.
It's good to be here. Happy to be here.
And
mean-
that's how we lost Thick Biscuit.
No.
Turns all the way around.
Please! No!
The betrayal in Thick Biscuit's eyes. That's the last thing he sees.
God.
Lucky
Please
for you,
don't
Thick
do
Biscuit is behind you.
That's good.
And also everyone in the party has healing. But nonetheless, you throw the spear forward, and I'm gonna be honest, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. There's so many of them. You're gonna hit some. But it goes forward and slams into some of these, which rocket out of the way. And you have effectively started a couple small fires. So currently there are fires, like one of these trees is starting to go up in the middle of this forest. And multiple other hanging sigils have fallen and are still ablaze. So there's a little bit of a situation here currently.
So out of curiosity, when I was doing my investigation of the site, I didn't see any place where the ground had been disturbed, like anything might have been buried here or anything, right?
None of that.
Okay.
But
No more
currently
chicken
there's a
bombs.
forest fire.
Cool. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I don't have very much in the way of ability to fight that, so
I'm not asking anybody to do anything. I'm just informing the party there is a forest fire.
Roshan will take steps to make sure it doesn't spread beyond this tree.
How?
Prestidigitation can control small fires.
I would say we're past the tree is not a small fire. The ones on the ground are.
God damn it, Nana.
Nyx is gonna
She
just
shot
sigh.
fire into the tree.
That might have been a little overkill. Can does anyone
I'll sigh and just walk over and
I
Make
thought
it
you wanted
rain.
to burn it all down.
I'm not trying to start the forest on fire.
I kind of like the forest, Nana.
You watch Nyx kind of wave their arm and it starts to rain over this tree. And eventually the fire is stopped before it becomes, an actual problem for the ecosystem.
and you know what? Spooky burned tree is like a good message to Bosch. Like, get fucked, dude.
Yeah. Fuck nature in particular. Am I right?
No, that's not what. No, it's not
I'm
right.
just
God damn it.
but but Fen, I will also say from your survival check, you think, God, you rolled really high. Over a dozen people were probably at this site, and it's been a few days.
Okay. Well, that seemed to be quite a few of them. How many of them are in fighting condition, I don't know, but there were at least a dozen people here. That might be a fairly large fight to take on if we needed to. I'm not sure what direction they went, but judging by the note, maybe they headed in the direction of Nonsik. Maybe we can catch them along the way.
That's what I was thinking.
Nyx, do you have any magic that would keep somebody from turning into stone?
Sure about that. I'll think about it.
Anything?
I
This seems like a good indication of what may be to come from Riven, and hopefully that information can save our lives.
Usually when she leaves us messages, it's about possible places that we need to go to deal with something.
Right.
Well, then
This could just be her telling us about some trap that they've laid along the road coming up.
Well, and that's useful information. And hopefully we can prepare ourselves for it.
I think it's both. If we can go back to Noansict, they may be in trouble.
Mm. Well, it's not out of the way.
Nana, you're muted.
Sorry. We cannot expect anyone that we might have asked help from in the past to give us the time of day if we don't do something here.
Can't possibly let Noansict endure the fate that Noanton did due to our inaction. We'll make our path that way. But things that turn things to stone, something we might want to be prepared for.
Mhm.
Nothing else. I don't know. There's some tales that say that such things can be perceived through a reflective surface and it won't carry the same sting, but who's to say if this particular threat follows those rules?
Well, thankfully, we know somebody with very shiny armor.
Yeah, Kel,
Very
you're looking
fortunate.
hot.
Keld currently does not have it on, but boy, oh
He is,
boy,
though.
he could.
Kel, why are you
has
not
it.
wearing it?
The
What was
armor
it?
is for special
Well,
occasions.
strange.
Probably gonna need to help him kit up with it in the morning before we go. I'm just saying, throwing it on the second before danger happens takes a minute.
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, he has armor on. Don't.
Oh, okay. If there's
I
some
will
armor
clarify
on
for
there.
Keld. He has armor on.
Okay, all right, good.
It's
Yeah,
just
just-
not the brilliant armor.
Reflective.
It's just not shiny.
Just not the shiniest armor in the world.
Shiny.
Um,
That's all we can quote.
Yeah.
but yeah, we
Disney
can't
is
go
very
by that.
litigious.
With that, are you continuing forwards?
Let's continue.
All right.
Keep our eyes
Nana
down.
is like looking a little bit rough after that. She's gonna take a little lie down in the back of the cart.
Okay.
So can I ask, what would a person in this world be expected to know about certain beasts that may or may not have the ability to turn people to stone as an attack?
I mean, there'd be rules about it, but I'm currently allowing the mirror information to exist.
Okay. I mean, but would we, Nana brought up the mirror information, but like, would we have heard in fairy tales about things like a basilisk or a cockatrice, or like would
You can roll history if you'd like to.
I'd like to. That is an 11.
You've heard of creatures that do this. I'm gonna say none of them are exactly like a name is not coming to mind,
Okay.
but you know that things have that ability. Some
Okay.
more aggressively so than others,
Okay.
right? As you push forward, knowing that it'll be about one more day until you get to Brook Course, the next town over. The cart pushes forward, two party members feeling a little worse for wear, a little unsettled.
Mm.
And the rest, eyes on the road. And with that, that is where we are going to stop for tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. We appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story here at the Dice Cult. If you'd like to like keep up with what's going on and or actually the opposite, if you'd like to catch up, better word, you can head over to youtube.com/the Dice Cult, where you can watch the backlog of all the On the Backs of God. You can watch the first part of Cordially Invited. There we go. Another Dungeons and Dragons 5e game about a fantasy wedding. You can also head over there if you want to watch some one-shots and some stories and a spooky Vampire the Masquerade story about violence, minimal talking, and love. You know, this is the three, the
Yeah.
pillars of a story.
Fire.
It's setting everything on fire. Yeah.
Everything ablaze. Sires who? Am I right, boys?
Yeah. Who even the
Who
fuck?
needs those? So if you're interested in any of that, you can head over to YouTube. If you'd like to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to keep up with the group as a whole, we are at the Dice Cult on Instagram and Twitter. Over on Twitter, we keep track of what shows are happening and when. So you're welcome to, follow us over there if you want to keep up and know what's going on. And maybe we have a special spooky day Halloween surprise for the viewers who are interested in shows instead of candy, or like who trick-or-treats anymore. Anytime I put out candy, none of the kids take it, and it hurts my spirit, like physically and emotionally. I want to give the children candy and be a cool neighbor, and nobody comes and gets it. And I'm done ranting. I'm good. I'm good. It doesn't make me sad or anything.
Oh.
Hey, thanks for being here. We appreciate it once again. Love telling you guys a story. We'll be here same time, same place, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will see you guys then. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, cultists.
Night.